Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina and welcome back to another card video. Today we're going to be playing with the silver metallic Tim Holtz spray stains. And originally I planned on making this an A2 size card and ended up later on cutting it down to be a 1/4 of an inch smaller. Just made that as a panel piece. So what I'm doing is taking a piece of black cardstock and adding some Post-it notes to the side because, like I said, I did plan on making this the actual card and later on trimmed it down. So I'm adding a little protection on the other side, which I ended up cutting off. But I'm going to also make some diagonal stripes using the 3M Post-it tape, and they're not perfect. I was okay with that. In the end, you really can't even tell that it's not perfect, but I'm just starting a diagonal stripe and then spacing them out as evenly as I can by eyeballing it. And I'm just spreading them out and making a diagonal pattern. And in a little bit, I'm going to come back with the Tim Holtz spray. The metallic spray is gorgeous on the black cardstock. This makes a great masculine kind of style card, and also be great for the holidays too. So I made sure that Post-it tape is adhered down really well because I'm going to be spraying that in a couple of seconds, and I didn't want it to curl up or seep underneath the Post-it tape. So this is my silver metallic spray. I went ahead and shook it up really good before I started. There's a little ball inside the spray, and I just made sure that it was really, all of the metallic was mixed up really well. Sprayed that down onto my card front, and then took my heat gun and started heat setting it. And I realized I missed a couple of spots, so I'm just coming back in with some more spray and filling in the spots and heat setting it a little bit more. And before it was completely dry, I went ahead and pulled off the Post-it tape, and I just love how this came out. You can kind of see a little bit of the wet spots that are still there, but once it dries, it really comes out beautiful. And I absolutely love this part of doing this card. I just love the reveal of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish heat setting it. And this is where I kind of was still going with my regular, making that my card base. I wanted to add a little bit more silver to this, so I took I'm not sure how you pronounce it, if it's Sakura or Sakura gel pen. It's one of the metallic pens, and I'm just creating a faux stitched line on either side of the stripes up the front of the entire card. So I'm just going to add that little bit of accent. It gives a nice little perfect touch to this card front. So you can see the real pretty shimmer and shine, not only from the metallic, but also from that gel pen. And I absolutely love how this came out. And you can kind of see when I set this card down, how warped it became. And I realized I can't use this as a card. So I cut it down to be a 4 by 5 1/4 inch card front. So it's a little panel now to put on my card front. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little banner piece on this. I grabbed a piece of white cardstock. This is Nina Solar white cardstock. I cut it down to 1.5 inches, and then I'm just going to take my scissors and make a little banner edge on one of the ends. Banner edges are so easy. You can use a punch. If you have a square punch, you could do it that way, but I can never eyeball them the right way. I always ended up with my banners being a little odd. So easy way to do it is just to cut a little slit in the middle and then cut from each corner of the piece of cardstock right to the center where that slit is. And that creates a great little banner piece. I die cut on some silver foil cardstock, Happy, which is a Simon Says die from Simon Says Stamps, and I am going to use that. So I have that is my Happy, and then I'm stamping out Birthday with some Versamark ink because I'm going to go ahead and use some black embossing powder. I did go ahead and use my little embossing buddy that takes away any of the oils and stickiness from the cardstock, and only will allow your embossing powder to stick right to the sentiment that you're stamping out. So I'm just going to stamp Birthday and then add my black embossing powder. And this is Stampin' Up! Black embossing powder. I absolutely love their that embossing powder. It just covers beautifully. So I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle that on. I have mine in the container that Jennifer McGuire had this tip out in one of her videos, and I really like keeping it in there. I do have the really small ones that I got for fairly cheap. I think from TJ Maxx. So I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle that on and then heat set that with my heat gun. So the next thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of baker's twine, and this is just some black and white baker's twine, and I believe this is also from Stampin' Up. And I'm just wrapping that right around that card base a couple of times, and instead of going right and tying my bow. I ended up just tying a knot because I wasn't sure where I needed my bow to be on the card front. So I just thought I'm just going to do it simple, tie a knot for now, and then I'll come back later and tie my bow. So once I have that tied on, I'm going to go ahead and, again, eyeballing my little banner piece, and I'm going to trim that down to where I want it to be. And it's just going to go right across the front of the card, and I'm just going to grab my scissors and eyeball it and just trim it so that I have a straight edge and it's not quite as long. And then I'm coming back with that little Sakura, however you say it, pen, and just doing a faux stitching around that. Again, bringing that silver in and finishing off the card a little nicer. I'm going to take my little happy sentiment, and with the Zig 2 glue pen, this is the ballpoint pen. There's another one that's a little thicker. It's a chisel point, but I've never used this one before, and I absolutely love this pen, so I'm definitely going to get another one of those when this one runs out. But it's great for getting adhesive onto those little tiny die cut pieces. So I just went ahead and adhered that down right onto the card panel, right above my happy sentiment. And then I'm going to take some of my foam adhesive. I've always loved the 3M Scotch foam adhesive, and I found a huge, gigantic roll of it for a really good price on Amazon. So I picked it up, and I absolutely love the little bit of dimension it gives. So I just stuck that onto that back piece from the banner piece, and I'm going to adhere that down to the front of my card panel, which you can see I already went ahead off camera and tied my bow, which still was giving me a hassle. That bow was just not cooperating with me today. Added some of the 3M foam tape onto the back of the panel piece. I did adhere this down a little bit crooked, but in the end picture you'll see it's much better. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, a list of supplies are down below in the YouTube description and over on my blog if you want to check it out. Don't forget to give today's video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel for more videos, and thanks everybody for watching. Catch y'all in the next video.